afternoon. Oh, let's see, it's still mornings. Good morning, Facebook. It's your brother, Ferocious Nicktow, on one of my drives. I'm in Indiana now, heading south on my way to Hampton, Virginia. Has to be there by Monday. So I'm just leaving out. It's a nice sunny day. I got a slight migraine or headache or whatever, I think, because I woke up just ready to go. So, but it's gonna subside. So I said, well, let me see what I'm gonna talk to the guys about today. And it came to me, something that I've been doing. I don't know if some of you guys have been doing the same thing, but I said, it seems like customer service in this country, it just went to shits. Went to the shits, the shitter. And it seems like men get the worst customer service now. So I'm like, wait a minute. If I go to Denny's, the service is lackluster, no matter which one I go to. If I go to a grocery store, cashiers won't even ask me how am I doing or greet me or say thank you or nothing. They just tell me the price. I stick my card in the machine, hand me the receipt, and I just leave. No pleasantries at all. And I'm seeing this everywhere I go now. So I'm like, okay, two can play at this. So now, when they say thank you, I just take my receipt and keep walking. For the few that do say thank you. If I go to a sit-down restaurant, if the service is not to my liking, guess what? No tip. Before, I was still just, yeah, okay, the service wasn't the greatest. You know, it could have been better. So I would leave at least $1 and something, $1 and some change. The service is really good, I would leave $5. But now, most of the time I go places, the service is terrible. So guess what? No tip. Okay? Same thing with, I try to go and stay away from stores that have cashiers. I like to go through the automatic checkout. That way, I don't have to have no human being interaction. I can scan my own items and I can bag my own items. Stick my card in, same thing. And the machine has said thank you for shopping at this establishment, come again. So I opt for that as opposed to going through one of these checkout lines with one of these so-called women and not even be acknowledged. So I said this is exactly what us men need to be doing. If service is not to our liking, stop leaving a tip. And if it's too outrageous, let's start asking to speak to the manager. Let's start writing reviews and letting other people know that we had a bad experience. And that brings me to a story. I was in a local food chain here in Chicago, and I had just left the gym, LA Fitness. It was basically a block away. I think this was a Dominick's before they went out of business. So I got my few little items, go back and make me a really healthy salad. I just got through working out, so I want to maximize my workout by having a nice, healthy, robust salad. So it's about 4 or 5 people in line. And those 4 or 5 people happen to be all women. And didn't acknowledge them. They didn't acknowledge me, which is fine. So I saw how the cashier interacted with the four ladies, right? When they got up there, hello, how you doing? How's your day? How's everything going? Blah, blah, blah. Little small talk, little banter. And I'm, fourth person in line, so I can't help but just pay attention. I'm waiting. So I'm observing, and I see she responded like this to everybody. So, of course, when I get up there, there's absolute silence. You can hear a pin drop. So I said, okay. I was off work this day, and I said to myself, okay, today I'm gonna let this lady have it. So when she told me what the price was, I put my card in, paid for it. She had me the receipt. Total nothing. Only thing she said was the price. So I said, excuse me. She was like, yes. I just want to ask a question. And she was like, yes. Are you feeling okay? And she was like, yeah, I'm fine. What make you ask me that question? I said, because I was like the fourth person in line, and you spoke to everybody else real enthusiastically, and you greeted them, and you gave them a really polite thank you, come again. But when I walked up, there was no greeting, there was no thank you, there was no polite chatter, nothing. So I'm asking, are you okay now, or did you all of a sudden came down sick? She was like, no, I'm sorry, I must have been thinking about something. I'm like, thinking about something? But so because you were thinking about something, you didn't do your job? She was like, no, that's not, I was basically coming up with a lie, trying to come up with a lie. But because she was caught off guard, she didn't know exactly how to respond. So she was just, she sounded like Tom Brady doing an audible. What? So since I wasn't gonna let it go, I said, well, you know what? Could you call your manager? She was like, fine. She gets on the little thing. Manager to register 5, manager to register 5, manager to register 5. So the manager shows up. He has his name tag on there, Andy or something, whatever it was. Like, Andy, I just want to ask a question. And this is how we should, when we're having a problem, guys, somewhere, pose your question. Pose your problem in the form of a question. Okay, it really frustrates them because they're not ready for this type of assault. So I asked them a question. I said, is it the cashier's job to greet the customer as they approach the register, and is it their job to give the customer a thank you and come again? And he said, yes, it is. Who am I speaking with? I said, my name is Mr. So-and-so, so-and-so. And he said, Mr. So-and-so, yes, you're right, it is. Well, your cashier here, I noticed it was 4 people in line. Now keep in mind, guys, while I'm explaining this, I'm holding up, and I've already paid for my stuff, but I haven't grabbed it off the conveyor belt yet. There's 3 other people in line watching me do this. And of course, they're women, right? The irony, but anyway. So I explained to him, 4 people in line. She greeted everybody. She gave everybody a thank you. But when I came up in line, there was no greeting. There was no thank you. She just quoted the price, and that was the only things that she said to me. And so he looked at her and asked her why. And then she went into her Tom Brady audible, right? And then it didn't make sense to him either. And so I had that look on my face. So I'm studying different dark secrets of body language. So I'm using my body language to show the confusion that I'm hearing And so when he looks at me, he sees the confused look on my face as she's doing her Tom Brady. He said, oh, wait a minute. How about you just give this Mr. So-and-so an apology? So she literally had to apologize. I'm sorry, it won't happen again, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, sure, whatever. I was like, I didn't want to make a big deal out of it, but I was just wondering because I was in line waiting. And so I didn't have anything to do but just observe things. And I just observed it. And I would just want to know why. I didn't want to cause a big deal, big scene, nothing like that. You know, apologies accepted. You all have a great day. And I left them. And it's like time had frozen. Everybody was frozen in their tracks as I was walking away with my bags. Guys, I can't begin to tell you how liberating that felt. I felt so alive. I felt so vindicated. Such authority, you know. And that is how we should handle these situations where we're not being treated with the level of service that we deserve, considering we are spending our hard-earned money. Another time, I was in the Love's truck stop, and I walked in. It was about 11 o'clock at night. I walked in, and it's definitely their job to say, you know, welcome to Love's, right? Nobody was in the store at this particular time. I walk in, it was two ladies, two Caucasian ladies talking, and they both stopped talking because, you know, when you open up the door, it has the little bell say ding. So the bell kind of stopped them from talking. And then they both turned at me. Neither one of them said anything, and then they turned back to each other and started talking. I was like, oh, hell no. So all I had to do was use the bathroom because I had just finished getting fuel. I used the bathroom. I came back by. I purposely slowed down when I got ready to leave out. Still with nobody in the place. And I walked past them. They were still talking. Neither one of them said, thank you, come again, nothing. So the minute I got back into the truck, I pulled up the app, the Love's app. I went on their site and I went down to leave a comment. I went down and I left a comment, and I mean, it was a hell of a comment. You know, basically I said, I can't remember exactly because it's been about maybe a year ago since I did this, but essentially it said, I walked in, basically what happened. I was the only one in the store. Two ladies were talking. Neither one of them greeted me. Isn't it the policy of Love's to greet the customer? I had just finished getting over 100 gallons of fuel, which is almost 500 bucks. I said it's about 2,000 drivers, owner-operators that work with the company I'm at. I'm sure Love's would not like me to explain to them how I was treated. So, and I was like, left my phone number and an email address for them to contact me. 2 days later, I get a call from the the district manager, not general manager, but the district manager. So when I saw the foreign number, because I was in Wisconsin when this happened, when I saw that Wisconsin area code, I picked up, hello, this is so-and-so trucking. And it's like, I'm looking to speak to so-and-so, so-and-so. Like, yeah, this is he. How may I help you? Well, this is so-and-so, so-and-so of Love's. I am the district manager. And I received your message, your email. And I read what it said, but can you explain to me in your own words what happened? So I ran it down to him. He had took the liberty to pull up the schedule for that day of that store, for that time frame, and he had both of the ladies' names in front of him. And I said, wow, okay, I like your initiative. And he was like, so they said nothing, huh? Like, no. He said, I tell you what, I'm gonna personally write both of these ladies up. I'm going to get both of them a write-up, and I'm going to give you a $10 credit to buy anything in the store you want, up to $10. I'm going to leave, I'm going to call the store and talk to the two managers, day shift manager, night shift manager, and they're going to leave a little note at the register with your name on it for you to spend $10, buy whatever you want for $10 on Loves. And if you ever come to this Loves again and you have this problem, you have my personal email, you have my name, my phone number, my direct line, my email, my name, where you contact me directly, and we'll get to the bottom of this. If I have to fire these people, I was like, no problem, sir. You know, thank you for getting back to me in such a speedy, expeditious time. So I hung up, and of course, I go to Wisconsin quite regularly. I stopped in that same store, and I got my $10 worth of I like trail mix. I got my two bags of trail mix, and left out. Of course, everybody was on point. I didn't have to write nobody. I didn't have to write a nasty email. So I think this is what we should start doing, guys. We should start punishing